thought we would use the Agony Mudra, which is helps with digestion. It will clear out phlegm of the body, help reduce cholesterol, and it also will increase heat and energy. So you take your thumb onto the ring finger into that second joint and do that on both hands. And then just place your hands up, facing up on top of your lap. And the other fingers are just extended as straight as are possible for your hands today. And just relax the arms and the shoulders and close your eyes. And just feel into that energy that's circulating from the thumb into that ring finger. Just notice all of the energy in the fingers and the hands. And now bring your attention from the hands through the arms up into the heart. And then bring your attention down into your abdomen. All the way down below your belly button into the colon. And into the base of the spine. And just notice the subtle energies here, the circulation of the prana as it moves through the body. And let's set an intention for our practice today. And with a sense of gratitude and thankfulness, just feeling into what you're most thankful for. And just feeling that grace of gratitude. That sense of joy and peace. And we'll just gently release our fingers and hands, just moving our fingers around a little bit, open and close your hands. And the other thing I wanted to touch on today is a deep core breath. So we'll use this today in our practice, and it's something that you can use during a yoga practice or in meditation or when you're doing your pranayama. And it can be hard to hold all the time, and it's not completely necessary, but especially on the exhale. So we'll just kind of talk about it and do it. So if you think about your two front hip points, you can even press into those hip points and then just imagine those coming together towards the belly button. Just kind of imagine them and engage that area right underneath the belly button, all across to those 2 points. And now imagine that energy, that place right at the tailbone and at the sit bones. So kind of a triangle here of the base of the spine, sit bones, and these 2 points on both sides of the hip. And just imagine as you bring all of those together to the very center of your abdominal area, and you kind of contract it all coming in right to the center, right below the belly button, and imagine an elevator coming up from the base of your pelvic floor up to that area. So it's just like this contraction from down below coming up, from the sides going in. And it's just this nice little package right in here, deep inside our bodies. So that is our core. So just hang on to that for a moment. And then inhale, release it. And then one more time, take another inhale. And then exhale, bring it all together again. Feel that elevator come up to meet the center, both hip points coming in. And then just go ahead and release it again. So I just wanted to do it one more time just to kind of get our attention down into this area. And we'll try to bring this in as much as we can during our practice today. So we'll do it one more time. Inhale and exhale. Bringing the hips together, the bottom up. Just hold it here for a moment. Holding it, and then go ahead and release. And what you can probably feel already is the warmth in your abdominal muscles, but you can probably also feel it in your low back. So this is almost like a girdle that holds that whole low back area, holds the sacrum in place, helps the hips stay in line, and in turn then keeps the sacrum from moving right or left and coming out of joint, and then brings that stability that can move all the way up the spine, so you have a nice length and elongation in the spine. So anyways, we'll just move along here. You can move your cushion off to the side and then come up onto all fours. And looking at the fingers, just nice and wide, the baby fingers off to the edge of the mat, if that's a good location for them with your shoulders. And then looking at your knees are about hip distance apart. And again, feel those two hip points come together here, the bottom coming up, making that little package right underneath the belly button. And just hold it here for just a moment. And then you can let it go. And now on your next inhale, let that belly drop and bring the gaze up. And then exhale, round the back. And then bring the tail in and look at your belly button, pushing away from the mat. Inhale again. And just move into your cat-cow 3 more times. Just loosening up the spine. Just nice, soft movements. Moving with the breath. And wherever you're at, inhale one more time, lifting the tail and the head. And then exhale, moving our body down into child's pose. And then as you're in child's pose, allow the forehead to come to the mat and gently rock right and left over the forehead, feeling that spine gently moving all the way to the tail. And then come to neutral. Inhale here, your arms extended way long in front, pulling the hips down and back towards the heels. And then moving both hands over to the right, draw the hips to the left, and take 3 deep breaths, expanding the rib cage on the left. On your next inhale, bring the hands through center and exhale, both hands over to the left and draw the hips to the right. Take 3 deep breaths, expanding the right rib cage. And inhale back to center, come back up onto all fours. And we're just going to roll the shoulders with a nice flat back, just circling the shoulders back. Squeezing the shoulder blades together as you come back behind. And then reverse. And back to neutral. And we're going to move the hips over to the left and forward, over to the right and back. Some big circles with the hips. Nice and slow. Notice how it's also waking up your wrists. And when you get to your heels, go ahead and reverse. And come back to neutral. And we're going to take that left foot and curl over the toe and extend the leg straight. And just rock forward and back over those toes, pushing the heel down towards the mat. Just begin to open up the back of the leg. Feet, the ankle, the calf. And then we'll bring that knee down and extend the right leg behind, crunching those toes. Rocking gently forward and back. And then bring that knee back down. And now we're going to extend the right arm and the left leg straight out. Gazes down and forward. And we're going to pulse up with the leg and the arm. And as you're pulsing the leg, really flex the foot and grab onto those glutes. Nice contraction in the entire leg and hip. Lifting even just about an inch. It doesn't have to be a big movement. This nice, good, strong contraction in the leg. Couple more. And then bring the knee down in the hand. Take a breath here. And then exhale as we extend the right leg and the left arm up. Nice and flexed foot as we pulse that strong, engaged leg. And then bring that one down. And then we're going to move over to the left side again. And we're just going to extend that leg and the arm. And now we're going to move that leg over to the right and then lift it up and then over to the left. Lift it up and then over, cross over that right foot. Come back to neutral and then to the left and up. So we're just crossing over the midline to the right, center, and then left. You can have your arm down here as well if you like. And then we'll just come to neutral. So the idea here is that as I'm just going to talk you through it here a second. So with the leg extended, the foot is flexed and we're coming behind us to the right. And then we're coming to neutral and down and up and over to the left and out. So we're getting all these areas of the glute, engaging all those muscles and working them a little bit. So your arm can, if you want to work on arm strength, you can raise the arm, but you don't have to. So we'll go over to the right, extending the right leg out. Again, if you want to extend the left arm. And then we're just going to move that leg over to the left, to the outside, and then lift it up again, and then drop it down straight behind, lift it up, and then out to the right side. Perfect. Lift it up and down behind, lift it up, over to the outside, up, and down, up, and to the right, up, and down. One more time to the left, up, and down, up, and to the right. And then just come bring that knee back down and move the body into child's pose and take a little break. And we'll come back up onto our knees, and we're going to start with our gate pose. So up on our knees, we're going to extend that right or that left leg out to the side. And arms at the horizon. And then inhale here, exhale, just drop, and then over to that extended leg. And the gaze can go down to the foot and just pulse here, just reaching up for that upper corner, feeling that deep stretch on the side body. And then inhale back to neutral, exhale, twist over to the left. And then inhale back to center, exhale, one breath, side stretch. Inhale back to center, exhale, twist. And then inhale back to center, drop that right hand down to the center of the body, raise the left arm up, circle the wrist, right and left, gaze goes up to the ceiling. And then open and close the hand. And then open that chest. Twisting deeply. And then exhale, come down all the way onto the forearms. Open up that inner left thigh. And then inhale, coming up. And then go ahead and drop that right hand down and adjust that right foot a little bit. Raise the left arm up And with that extended leg, we're just going to pulse that extended leg up to the ceiling with a deep flexed foot. So really engaging that side hip muscle. Five, four, three, two, and one. And go ahead and come back to center. And we're just going to switch legs, extending that right leg out, come up onto the knees, arms shoulder height. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, stretching over that extended leg. And just take a few breaths, reaching. Feeling that deep stretch from the armpit all the way down to the hip point. And then inhale back up to neutral. Exhale, twist over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, one breath, side stretch. Inhale, back up. Exhale, twist. Inhale to center. Drop the left hand down to the center of the body and raise the right arm up and circle the wrists. Right and left. Open and close the hand. And then reach up to the ceiling and open up a little bit more, twisting with that arm moving to the back. And then exhale, come down onto the forearms or forehead, opening that inner thigh. And come back up, and we're just going to drop that left arm down and raise the right arm up and pulsing that extended leg. Five, four, three, two, one, and then just come back down. And we're going to move the body into child's pose just for another moment. Stretch out that low back. And now move the body into downward facing dog. And let's just slowly drop one heel and then the other, crunching the toes on the opposite foot as we move, sassing the hips. Some nice big openness in the hips and the side body. And now just draw both heels down. And then we're going to come forward over those curved toes, curled toes, and then lift the gaze and chest up. And then draw the hips up and back again. And again, moving our torso forward in between the arms, dropping the hips slightly, lifting the chest. And one more time, coming back. And now looking at the hands, walk, step, or jump to the front of the mat. And with the feet hip distance apart, let's bend the knees as much as you need to. Grab opposite arms or elbows and just let the head relax. And you could sway right and left. And then come to neutral, drop the arms down, press into the feet as we come all the way up to standing. Interlace the hands at the top, point the first two fingers. Drop the shoulders down to the back. Inhale here, exhale, deep side stretch over to the left, pushing the hips to the right. Gaze is down at the left foot. And then inhale back up to center. Exhale here. Drop the shoulders down to the back. And then exhale, moving the hands over to the right, hips to the left. And then back to center. Interlace the hands at the low back. And then lift the chest and the gaze, squeeze the shoulder blades together, moving the hands down towards the feet. Just a little standing back bend here. Allowing the head to come back if that's comfortable for your neck. Opening the throat. And then slowly come back up and bending the knees. And then bending the knees as much as you need to. The chest can come onto the tops of the thighs to a flat back. And then just let the head come down if you can. And draw the arms away from the low back. And then release the hands. Come back up to standing. And hands to the heart center. Take a breath, come back to our intention of thankfulness and gratitude. We can be thankful for what our bodies can do today. And let's just move into a sun salutation. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, draw the back flat. And then exhale, come down onto the knees, chest, the chin. Inhale as we come up to cobra. And then come to the knees and come back into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Pressing into all of the joints of the fingers. Engaging that side body up by the armpits. Lifting the hips, letting the head drop in between the elbows. Drawing the heels down. Feel the breath expanding the rib cage. Keep pressing into the thumb and the first finger. Couple more breaths. And then look at your hands, walk, step, or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Pressing into the feet, bending the knees as we come up to standing. Interlace the hands together. Lift the chest, little back bend. And then hands to the heart center. Feel the intention. What are we thankful for? Drop the hands, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, both feet back into the knees, the chest, the chin. Extend the legs, come into cobra or up dog. Take a breath here. And then exhale into downward dog. Look at your hands, feet to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Pressing into the feet as we come up to standing. Hands to the heart. And again, inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, into the knees, the chest, the chin. Extending the legs out. Inhale to up dog or cobra. And then come back down onto the belly and extend the arms straight out in front. Gaze is straight down on the mat. And we're just going to do a little bit more back strengtheners here. So remember when we did our belly breathing or core. So I just want you to feel into that. Inhale, exhale, bringing those side points of the hips together, bringing the pelvic floor up, and really engage that area of the pelvic floor. And you can just feel that whole core nice and strong. And we're going to just go ahead and hold that as much as you can, keeping that whole area strong, protecting the back. And we're going to lift that left arm and the right leg up. Holding it here. And try flexing that foot. And again, we're going to pulse up just a little bit with the leg and the arm. Feel that diagonal strengthening from the tips of the fingers to the bottom of the foot. Release any tension in the neck and shoulders. Just working out just the back muscles, the glutes, the legs. Couple more pulses. And then go ahead and release. And then go ahead and maybe take a little break. Put your head to the side. And again, we're going to extend the arms out, lifting that right arm and left leg. Go ahead and pulse. Just a couple more. Really feel the strength in that glute, the side of the hip, back of the hip, top of the thigh, the whole leg nice and strong. A couple more. And go ahead and release. Take a little break. And this time, extend the arms out, and we're going to lift both legs and both arms. And you can pulse just ever so slightly again if you like. Just really engaging those back muscles. And then go ahead and release and bring the hands back to the chest And move the body into child's pose. Nice wide knees. The forehead come down to the mat. Some deep breaths into the rib cage. And we'll move back into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And then bring that left foot forward and come all the way up to warrior one. And let's just start with the hands on the hips. Feeling those two hip points come together. Feeling that pelvic floor come up. And notice what that does to the low back. Just a little bit of a tuck of the tail. And notice how the whole torso is a little bit straighter, all just perpendicular to the floor coming up. So the torso, the body isn't forward or back, but completely straight right in between our legs. Keep engaging as much as you can into our lower abdominals, bringing those two hip points together at the belly button. And then releasing any tension in the neck and shoulders as you lift the arms up and out, just a little bit out to the side. Feel the shoulder blades moving down the back of the body. Pressing into that front foot, dropping maybe a little farther into that bent right knee or left knee. Feel that little arch in the back foot. Notice that right glute fully engaged. You can have a little bend in that knee if you need it. If not, just if you don't hyperextend, just straighten that back leg. Feeling into that heel. Keep holding the pose. 3 more breaths. And on your next exhale, bring your hands together through the heart center and then move the arms forward and back into warrior two. And then make any adjustments to your stance, maybe widen it. Make sure your front knee is not over your ankle. And again, bringing those hip points together. Tucking the tail slightly, feeling that torso completely perpendicular to the floor. Maybe dropping into that front knee a little bit more. Beautiful. Feeling the arch of the back foot. Release any gripping of the toes. And then go ahead and drop that back hand to the thigh. Front palm comes up. Just reverse the warrior. Gaze goes up to the ceiling. Feel the nice stretch in that left side from the fingertips all the way to the right hip point or left hip point. And then exhale, coming into extended side angle, arm on the top of the thigh or all the way down. Keep pressing into that front foot. Building strength in that left thigh. And then if you're looking up, look back at the foot. And then come extending that front leg straight. And moving right into Trikonasana. And now put some weight in that back, the outside of that back foot. And then raise that front arm straight ahead. And make kind of a little T. And then come all the way up to standing. And we'll move through a little vinyasa. Bringing that front foot back. And to the knees, the chest, the chin. Inhale to up dog or cobra. And then exhale, down dog. And then the right foot comes up into warrior one. And start at the hips. And feeling those hips come together at the belly button. Tucking the tail slightly. And then slowly moving into your bend in that right knee. Feeling that strength of the core. And now lift the arms up. And pressing into the outside of the back foot, feeling that arch, nice curve of the back arch. And now feel that belly button come into the spine. Keep moving towards a 90 with that front knee. Hip point still facing forward. Bringing attention up the spine. Squeezing the shoulder blades down the back. Lifting the chest a little bit more. If it's comfortable for your neck, bring the gaze up. Try not to lose track of your back outside foot. Release the gripping of the toes. And then move into warrior two, bringing the hands overhead through the heart, moving the arms forward and back. Adjusting if you need to. Tucking the tail slightly, and then dropping the torso right in between the legs. Keep pressing into that back foot, feeling the arch. Engaging that core breath. And then drop the back hand down. The front hand comes up to the ceiling. Opening that side body. And then exhale into extended side angle. And go ahead and straighten that front leg and move into Trikonasana. And then just bring that right arm forward, left arm up to the ceiling. And then move into your vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. And now we'll just move our legs up into a seated position. And maybe feel those sit bones underneath us. And we're just gonna bend the knees as much as you need to as we move into a forward fold. Arms come up by the ears. Belly is engaged. Inhale here and exhale as we come forward. And maybe we stay right here with the hands on maybe right behind the knees or the calves. But just ensuring that the back is nice and flat and the chest is coming towards the knees. Giving a nice deep stretch to the sacrum here. And if you want, you can extend the legs straight out and bring the forehead down towards the knees. And inhale, come up. And we're going to roll onto our back and do just a little bit of bridging here. So before we lift the hips at all, we're going to find our core breath. And notice when we do that, how it presses that low back down and relieves the, kind of flattens out that arch, the natural arch of the low back. And we're just going to go ahead and release the breath and then just naturally see how that arch comes back into the low back. And then exhale, engage that core breath again, pressing that low back down to the mat. Just hold it here, keeping that strong connection, holding it there as you press the low back down. And then go ahead and release it and lift the sacrum up again. Bring the arch back to the back. Back in here. And again, engage the breath as you exhale right to the belly. And now bring your heels towards your fingertips that are on the side body. And with your low back pressed into the mat, engage the front thighs, press into the feet, using the thighs to lift the hips up. Imagining a ball in between your legs so your knees are perfectly straight in line with the hips. And then keep that engagement with the core, lifting the hips, keeping the knees energetically together, holding it here. Whole lower torso fully engaged. Keep breathing and holding at the same time. Legs are engaged, energetically coming together. Glutes are fully engaged. Belly button, hip points, everything below the rib cage, nice and contracted. Couple more breaths here. And now gently release all of that. Slowly roll down from the top until your low back comes back to the mat. Just take a breath here without any movement. Notice how your body feels. We're going to do that 2 more times. So we're going to start by bringing our hip points together. Bringing the pelvic floor up, pressing the low back into the mat. Engaging the tops of the thighs, using them and the feet to lift the hips up. Keeping the inner thighs energetically together. It's not important how high you go, it's just keeping it all together. One nice, strong package. Softening the neck, the jaw, whole upper body is relaxed. Pressing into the feet. Allow the front body to open if it wants to. And then slowly begin to release from the top down. Nice and slow, very controlled. When you come to the mat, just relax for a moment without moving at all, without changing anything. Feel into the body. And we'll do this one more time, starting with our core breath, pressing into the mat, engaging the front thighs, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips. We offer the upper body to open a little bit more if it feels comfortable and it wants to open, allowing the chest to come up, pressing into the upper shoulders, pressing into the head, softening the upper body, the front upper body, feeling a little bit of contraction around the whole spine, all the way in between the shoulder blades. We're getting in touch with our whole body here. And then again, just release from the top down. Slowly, gently, come back down. Just let the body settle. And what you may notice is how that low back, without trying to press down into the mat, is just a little bit flatter. Just allowing it to open all on its own. Let's take a couple more neutral breaths with the body in neutral. Just feel into the body. And now on your exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Gently. And maybe just make some circles with your knees. If there's any more adjusting to your low back that you need, rocking up and down or back and forth. And then just allow both legs to drop over to the right, arms out shoulder height, and look the opposite direction. Just ensuring the shoulders are both down on the floor. Just let the body naturally move into this twist. Let the whole low back just relax. And then slowly engaging the core, helping the legs move back up through center and dropping over to the opposite side. Slow and controlled. And again, engaging the core, helping the legs come back up. And then just allow the body to move into Shavasana, extending the legs out a little more than hip distance, arms out away from the body, palms facing up. Just notice how the back body feels, how soft and open. Just allow the weight of the body to be held on the surface. Notice if you still feel tension anywhere in the body, just allowing your attention to go there and just allow it to soften and get heavy. Notice how the heaviness can just allow the body to feel a little bit more open. And bring your attention to your heart and come back into the heart, feeling that gratitude for what you're thankful for. Something about your body that you're thankful for. Something about your life. Something that we're thankful for about the world. Just feel into that sensation of gratitude and thankfulness, how that feels in the body. Feel like little glimmers of excitement, glimmers of hope, glimmers of compassion, and love. So when you're ready, just roll onto a side and make your way up to a comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed just for a couple more moments. Feeling perhaps the warmth of the sun, imagining it on your face, bringing it, how it brings a smile to your face. And bringing all of this with you into your rest of your day and your week. These feelings of peace and ease and compassion and love. And if you'd like to join me in closing, putting your hands in the prayer mudra, bringing your thumbs to your forehead for peaceful, loving thoughts, to the lips for kind and wise words, and to the heart that's open and willing to give. Namaste.